Hi everyone, welcome to the HappyFabric Craft Challenge. We're joined with lovely Adelle from Bustle and Pip, and yeah, we're going to have a lovely crafty challenge. We've both sewn up a little sunglasses case. Oh, excited. It was really sunny when we agreed to do this, wasn't it?
Yes.
And now it's suddenly rain again. You can never tell, but with the weather here.
Well, you always need your sunglasses though, and I am the worst for just chucking them in the car, or I find them on the floor in the footwell or anything. So it's good to have a protective case.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, I'm exactly the same. So we've kind of used all our scrap pieces up, haven't we? You've got a nice little denim.
Yeah, so I've gone for two different colours of denim, so a darker denim and then a light denim, and I've also done a tiny bit of just decorative stitches at the bottom.
Oh, see,
I thought
that looks so good.
Yeah, well, I don't normally use anything other than the straight or the zigzag, and when I was doing it I thought, right, I'm going to experiment a little bit. So it's only on one side, on the dark side, if you can see it there. Thought to add to it all as well.
You've inspired me to use mine now, because I've got so many little, you know, little shapes and stuff. So I'm like,
yeah,
using it. I never think to use them for some reason.
Yeah, it's nice just as a little trim as such, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to filling out all the gaps that are there.
Yeah, and we've got we come up with kind of a design and idea, haven't we? Like with the flowers.
Yes.
We've both got exactly the same. So we've got HappyFlex, which is a smooth vinyl, and then HappyFlock. I thought it'd be something a bit more interesting, add a bit of texture.
Yes, I've never used the flock vinyl before, so I'm really excited actually to see how that works sort of with the iron and how it feels afterwards.
Yeah, it's so nice. I love it because it feels like so comfy, even though it's like a sunglass case. It should be nice just to hold when you've got it in. Yeah. So should we get started and get into making, and then we can
let me find my scissors.
Exciting.
So are you going to decorate both sides?
I think so, yeah. I thought to myself, do you know what, I'm gonna just be spontaneous, and in this video just go for it, because I've done it with other ones. I thought, right, I'm not gonna come up with too much of a plan.
Yeah,
we'll go in straight into it, but I probably will. The HappyFlex is really good as like a base layer if you want to layer the flock on top.
Oh wow, yeah, I've never done that before. So would you just put the flex on first, press that, and then put the flock on top?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, take off you have to take off the carrier in between, but yeah, you can layer them up. And flock is best on the top layer because it's a bit thicker. But yeah, I'm gonna cut them all out. I've done all different. These are all hand drawn. These little shapes.
Are they?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'll do them. So it's a little bit special. So you've got something completely unique. So yeah, we can cut around them, use whatever you want. Don't have to use them all, but it's just exciting to see how they'll come out, really.
Yeah, especially that we've started with the same things as well. It'll be interesting to see how you've sort of put the colours, put the shapes together compared to how I have as well.
And originally these colours, I was inspired by one of your dresses that you made on your Instagram.
Yes, my little sort of garden party dress, I call it, because I think with how the last year has gone, I needed a dress that would just make me feel a little bit special when I sort of go over to garden parties, or I've worn it when we went on a date night with my husband. And that is what the beauty of sewing is, that you can make something, put it on, and it just makes you feel so special.
I love it. And you know, I'm wearing a me made today, especially for the video as well.
Yay!
Because I haven't made that many. I know I've seen your YouTube videos because I watch them, and they're so inspirational. You've got so much in your wardrobe.
Oh yeah, so it started when did it start? About 5-6 years ago. It was a New Year's resolution that I made for myself to start making my own clothes. And I thought to myself, right, could I go a whole year without buying anything? So I almost did it. I say almost because I was going on holiday and I quickly needed a pair of shorts. So I succumbed to a shopping trip, bought a pair of shorts, but I actually didn't wear them the whole trip. So I could have done it. I really could have done it. And then it's just gone from there, really. When I go shopping, I don't go shopping to buy, I go for inspiration.
Yeah.
So I sort of look at what fabrics are out there, what styles are out there, and feel sort of the fabrics that people are using within, well, mainstream on the high street, and then I recreate it or just go through it myself. So yeah.
The amazing thing about it, isn't it? Because you can add in what you want. So if you see something, you're like, oh, I'll add that, but change that and add it in.
Yes, because during the first lockdown, I did buy a few things off the internet, and when they got delivered and I felt the fabric, and I just thought, oh, I would never have used this type of fabric for this dress. So they all went back. So I think it's something that's going to stick with me. I don't think I'll ever stop sewing, really.
Oh, that's so good. And how did you teach yourself how to sew?
Yep, completely self-taught, just from trial and error, really. I'm not afraid to try something new because I think you learn so much when you try new things. And if it goes wrong, at the end of the day, it's only a bit of fabric. So, and I find the actual process really therapeutic as well. So even if I didn't get to the end and it wasn't a success, I feel that I've spent some quality me time doing something that I enjoy.
Yeah,
so
it's so satisfying to like make something at the end. Like you say, it's not always how you want it to turn out. I mean, I've attempted some patterns. I thought, oh, that's not quite right, so I just made it into a top or something. You can make it into something else.
yes, and that is the beauty of dressmaking, that if it doesn't work out, you could just recreate something else different, whether a dress into a top, or a couple of times where I've had a dress and I've made it back into a skirt because it wasn't a dress that I would wear fully all the time. So that is the beauty of dressmaking. How long have you been dressmaking for then?
I've always been very arty and designy.
Yeah.
And I did an art foundation course, and one of my teachers said, you should do textiles. And I never really thought, oh, that's exactly what I wanted to go into. So it wasn't until then I was like, I'm going to do a fashion and textiles course. So I went into that and I sort of started sewing for the first time. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I've sort of learned as I went along. And then I fell in love with like the print side of textiles. So I started screen printing and everything like that. So I kind of stopped doing the sewing side and went straight into sort of painting and designing, that kind of thing. And then in the past, I'd say year and a half or so, I've just got my sewing machine out and started making. And I think it's just really, it's come out of nowhere. And I started making some clothing, and like, not just clothing, like bags. I made a little one, my first ever children's jumper the other day.
Oh!
Which is actually part of our challenge that we've made with Sew Over It on our video. So everyone who's watching can watch that as well. Back. It was so nice. And actually, I used quite a lot of my scrap fabric for that. And I didn't realise how quick it was, obviously, to make. Being a small garment, I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, that's actually how I started as well. I had my second daughter, and my dad bought me just a little cheap sewing machine. So I decided to make her some little pinafores, and they are so easy to make. And like from a meter of fabric, you get a full outfit. So yeah, that's taken me back actually. And and I still make for my girls now, but they're a little bit more fussier. They have to choose the fabric, they have to choose the pattern. What have I made them last? Oh, that was the one thing we did make though, was I made a full set of family swimwear that was matching.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
So they were actually on board with wearing the same as me and their dad. What have I made recently? I'm trying to think now. Oh, I made a little jumpsuit for my youngest daughter. So just ready for the summer to come on. And again, it only took 1.5 meters of fabric. So children's clothes are a great way to get started.
I've seen like a lot of your like pattern hacks as well, and yeah, I'm really intrigued on how, obviously I know it's a bit more advanced, isn't it, when you've been sewing a lot more. How you come up with your ideas for pattern hacks, and how do you go about it?
Yeah, so I'm very mindful of not just buying a pattern, using it once, and then it ends up in my stash, never to be seen again. I do like to reuse patterns again and again and again. So very often I've got several dresses or tops that are the same pattern, but in different fabric. then that sort of gives me the confidence to maybe change it slightly. So I love my Agnes dress from Tilly and the Buttons, where it's a really simple hack where it's just the top. You cut it at the waistline, sorry, and just add a gathered skirt onto it. And then I've got a pattern that works as a top and as a dress. And again, I can go back through all my fabrics and just find something new to try. So the thing is about pattern hacking, don't be afraid of it, but maybe try something easier first, like adding a gather like this, adding a gather to something, extending a line that's already there. But again, pattern hacks aren't as complicated as they seem. Yeah. So you could do it. So if you got a Tilly, is that an indigo that you've got on?
It is cool. You're like a pattern. I didn't do that straight away. Yeah, it is an indigo.
Yeah. So instead of the gathers, you could maybe try pleats around that waist seam, or if you wanted to, like I've done with my Tilly, is I've added more ruffles, so more tears to my indigo.
I love that. I've seen that. That's so good.
Yeah, and that's just really simple. Just take what's already there. Think you've already got a gather there. Where would you add? So I wouldn't add a gather on my hips, maybe just below my hips, how it sits, and just go for it. Yeah. So you could do one with that. I've just dropped something.
Oh no.
There you go. I'm all right.
Yeah, you're so right. And like lengthening as well, like lengthening the skirt or whatever. There's so much you can do.
Yeah, or you could add a little ruffle onto like the cuff. Anything like that is simple to do.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be sighing after this. You're like so inspirational.
How are you getting on with your design then?
So this is what I've done so far. I'm actually gonna go on to a layer here. This is the front.
Oh, that's lovely.
Looks so bright. I love it.
So I've just pressed that. Here comes the sun. So with the flock, I have to let it cool, don't I, before?
Yeah, so let it completely cool. And if there's any little areas that haven't quite got the heat, it might just need repressing, because I know on like the letters, some of the sides, sometimes you need to press. So you're using an iron?
Yes, I'm just using an iron. And
sometimes I need to get the little like corners of the iron. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm going to layer some extra. I'm just going easy with the florals.
I'm trying some layering now. I've never layered vinyl before.
Oh, have you used a lot of vinyl on anything before?
So I haven't used it a lot, but I bought myself a vinyl cutter, and I did some t-shirts for my girls with some glittery motifs, and they loved them. Like my daughter, she's a gymnast. She goes to like gymnastics, and the gymnastics hoodies are so expensive, you know, with their names on. And I said to her, I'll have a go at doing it for you. And she loves that hoodie. It's like this glittery gymnast with her name at the bottom. So that worked well.
Bless her. I bet she loves that. It's something like extra special, especially because you made it. So
yes, yeah. And I think that's because obviously I'm a school teacher, so I have a conversation quite often with the students at school about sort of fast fashion and reusing and handmade. And I think they're really starting to appreciate that you don't have to wear or buy something once and just chuck it away. It's nice to reuse, to pass down, and a handmade outfit actually means a lot more than I think going to buy something.
Definitely. Do you have a fabric that you like to work with the most?
So I really enjoy working with viscose and rayon sort of drapey fabrics. It's definitely the type of fabrics that I would normally wear, that I'd normally go out and buy. But I know when I was beginning to sew, they were the fabrics that frightened me the most, because cutting them, they move and shift. Also, when you sew them, it's very easy to let the fabric sort of run away with you. So practice is made perfect with them, but I do enjoy sewing with sort of floaty fabrics. How about you? What's your favourite fabric to sew with?
Oh, I don't know. I think I do like a jersey, even though it can be hard when it's stretched, obviously, because it's stretchy. But I think it's just how you can wear it, because you've got so much room in it when you wear it, with like t-shirts and stuff. I don't know. I just find it quite like easy to sew when I can get like the neckbands right.
Yes, neckbands are something that I had a lot of practice with, and then I found out you actually have to have a lot smaller piece for your neckband than you think you need. So you do have to sort of stretch it as you're going through. But I do like sewing with jersey actually, because it comes together so quickly because you haven't got to finish seams. I can do like a whole top just on the overlocker. That's, yeah, I'd agree. Jersey's a nice thing to work with as well.
You can just like zigzag stitch it if you want to as well. That's what I like. I'm like, yep.
Yep. Yeah, and the seams don't unravel. So if you don't have an overlocker and you only do have like a machine, you can still achieve a beautiful garment very, very quickly.
Yeah, I do love it. I do like wearing it. But like you say, your fabrics that you chose as well are really nice. I think when you say with the fabric that runs away with you, I get that all the time, because I'm a bit scared of like a rotary cutter. I'm a bit like, I haven't used one yet.
I'm going to hold my hand up. I'm a scissors girl rather than a rotary cutter. Rotary cutters do scare me as well, because I think the same. I'm going to do it and it's just going to drop my finger off or something like that.
Well, it's like a pizza cutter, isn't it? And I'm like, I could just about do the pizza, let alone fabric.
Yeah. So I always pin, and I use pattern weights as well when I use sort of the drapier fabrics. But fabric choice, I always go for a pattern. I know I've got a plain dress behind me, but I am a patterns girl. Always. I love a good, pretty pattern.
Me too. I do. I get drawn to them all the time. Even though I've got, this one's like a textured kind of gauze fabric. It's got like little dots on it.
But even, how did you find sewing with gauze? I've never sewn with gauze.
I actually loved it. It was really nice to work with.
Oh, did you pre-wash it? Because I know with gauze it can shrink a lot, can't it?
Well, this is the thing that I didn't really know about. So I was meant to, and what I did is I actually made it first, then I washed it, and then realised that it shrinks a little bit. But luckily I made it a little bit bigger, I think, anyway. I was unsure what size to make it. And I wanted it quite flowy anyway. So yeah, I was quite lucky. But that is when I found out that washing fabric beforehand is really handy, because it does shrink.
Yeah, as soon as I get any fabric home, it just goes straight in the wash, because I know I'd be the worst for it, that I put something in my stash and then come to sew with it and think, have I washed this? Have I not? So yeah, as soon as anything comes in the house, it goes straight in the wash.
Yeah, it's a good habit to have that. Good to remember.
Did it go through the machine okay?
Yeah, really smooth. Really smooth. I'm trying to think where I got this one. I think it's from Higgs and Higgs, I think it's called.
I've got some actually, I'm not sure. Oh, here's a, oh! I've got some, and it is plain. What's going on?
Ooh, a nice purple. Oh, that's
yes.
Nice.
So do you remember, I think it was one of the very first episodes of Sewing Bee this season, where she did the double gauze dress, the summer dress that was buttons.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it was, whether it was Serena or Rebecca that made that dress, but I want to recreate that dress. I went straight online, and after watching the Fold Lines YouTube video where they tell you where the patterns are, I went straight online, bought the pattern, got some fabric, but I haven't been brave enough yet to cut it and sew with it, because I've never sewn with double gauze before.
Do it. I can't wait to see it already. It's lovely.
I was thinking, we're all at home this year more, and I am keeping fingers crossed that it's going to get sunnier and warmer. So I'm hoping that will be a nice dress to go on holiday with.
Oh, they're gorgeous, because it is nice and airy. Because I made this one like sort of a longer sleeve, and I was like, oh no, I don't know if I'm going to be too hot in it. It's actually like this kind of weather, it's quite nice. Like if it's like cool, but still sort of that transition of
Yeah, you could put a jacket over it and not feel that it's too bulky.
Yeah, no, I can't hardly feel it on your skin. It's lovely.
Oh,
Nice and soft as well. So it's really nice that you get to do sort of teaching, like sort of during the week. So you sort of have your sewing. Do you do sewing in the evenings around that, or?
yes. So I'm in my sewing room now.
It's really nice.
But my husband has taken a little bit of the desk over for his office. So in the evenings, very often, I just grab my sewing machine, plonk it on, and that's another thing as well with sewing. I don't have to sit down and do the full project. It can be just a couple of seams in a night or cutting out a pattern. But yeah, it's my sort of relaxation time, sewing is for me. I find it very therapeutic. And my girls know that when I'm in my sewing room, that they can come in, fiddle around with my fabrics, and it's just me time, because it's so difficult as well with us all being at home more to find sort of time just for myself. So yeah, I do try and sew as much as possible, but with my sewing room being taken up, I've got into yarn craft a lot. So I've started knitting and also crocheting.
I was going to ask you, do you do any other like crafts as well? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so I've knitted my first jumper, but, oh no, my second jumper, sorry, went in the wash on a hot wash and it shrank.
That's like my Christmas jumper. I didn't make it, but my Christmas jumper, I did that too. It was tiny. Yeah. Like a doll. If you got a doll, your daughter's got a doll or something, you can put it on.
I was gutted, absolutely gutted. And then when I crocheted my first cardigan, all the way, because I'm not very good with tension very early on, I wasn't very good. And as I was crocheting it, I was thinking these pieces are looking very small. And once I put it all together, yeah, lo and behold, it was too small for me. So my eldest daughter now has that.
Oh, that's good. But down.
I haven't been put off. I've actually got on and I'm actually making another cardigan for myself. And I find that's really good, actually, that sort of skill, because I can carry it with me now that the girls are back at gymnastics and swimming clubs. I can take those projects with me and do them sort of sitting in the car or by the side of the pool. So yeah, I'm always busy. I can't sit still.
Yeah, you're like me. I've always got to be doing something with my hands, doing like, even if it's just on the side. But like you say, with knitting and crochet, you can keep putting it down, can't you? Just carry it in your bag.
Yeah, and I can just pick it up. So I probably do look like the crazy woman on the side of the swimming pool, crocheting away. But that's another skill as well that I've just picked up. Learning on YouTube. I wasn't taught from anyone how to knit or how to crochet. So don't ever get put off by trying something new. That's my philosophy.
Yeah, there's so much out there that's like free already, like you say with YouTube.
Yes.
Videos. I've learned so much off of there.
Yeah, definitely. And again, with crocheting, I find it really easy to rectify any mistakes because I haven't sort of cut into it or anything like that. I can just unravel it and go back and just start again.
It's so satisfying unraveling it, isn't it? When if you've done something wrong, you're like, ooh.
It is. Have you ever tried to knit or crochet?
So I can knit in a straight line, so I can make a really good plain scarf.
Or a blanket.
Yeah, or actually, yeah, I should probably start a blanket. My gran is so like into like knitting, and she's made some amazing crochet, and I'm always in awe whenever I go around here. I'm like, oh, where did you get this? She's like, oh, I made that ages ago. And I was like, how? Like, it just looks so amazing. So she actually taught me how to knit, and like knit one pearl, and I did all of that. I mean, I made my first scarf with her, and my mum is really into it as well, but we've never really ventured out into making like a jumper or something. But then it is still a similar thing, but you're putting like pieces together, aren't you? So
yeah,
I mean,
and definitely with crocheting, a lot of the pieces are just square or rectangles. And it's really easy to decrease and increase when crocheting.
I've tried crochet. I had Emma from Stitching Me Softly. She came in at HappyFabric and we had a go at crochet, and that was really fun. I made like a little plant pot like holder thing. And it's really good. You just keep going like in a circle basically and keep going up.
Oh,
she's got some amazing ones, like bigger ones, smaller ones.
I've never crocheted anything sort of homeware, but you can get sort of raffia sort of yarn, can't you?
Yeah, like little baskets. Oh my god, yeah, I love all that kind of thing. Sunglasses case going.
It's going all right. I've done my motto on the front, my little slogan on the front, and some decorations around the outside. On the back, I'm just doing the back now. That's just going to have flowers on. Ooh. So have you done both sides? How are you getting on?
I've got this on the front. I've just added my writing on in block.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I love that.
So cute. And now I'm just pressing on lots of flowers up on the back.
Oh!
A bit like you, I think. Yeah, I thought I'd go for it because I thought this was like reversible, so you could just have it either side, can't you?
I didn't even think of actually overlapping. So let me show you what I've done on the front. So the first time I've ever layered up.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
So I've layered up 2 there and the shells there.
Nice.
And then on the back, I've gone floral. So I think I might take inspiration from you where all the sort of motifs can overlap and make them quite sort of randomly placed. I really like that.
I'll go for it. I literally get so experimental because there's so many little projects like the sunglasses case or like little scrunchies and stuff you can start off with. If you've just got around, or like a t-shirt that you don't want anymore and you might want to cut up into something. And
I think I need to get my girls sewing more. I don't know why I haven't got them sewing. I think you're going to inspire me to do that.
They would love it. But have they sewn before much?
So they do a little bit of sewing at school. So at the moment, my youngest daughter, she's making sort of a hand pocket and she's really excited. So I think I do need to sit down with them, take them through the machine and let them sort of maybe make a skirt for their teddy, or like you say, a scrunchie, or even they both wear glasses for school, so maybe even a little glasses case.
Oh yeah, and you could put their names on the front of them. That would be really cute.
Yeah, so I really should get them crafting more. I know the jumpsuits are always a big hit in our house because my girls, they do love to be active, so having a jumpsuit allows them still to play and things like that.
And it's good because you don't have to pick out a matching like outfit together. It's just all in one. That's my favourite thing about a jumpsuit.
Until you have to go to the toilet though.
Exactly. Yeah, actually that's so true. That's the worst.
You know what I've done actually to get away from that? So I wore it the other night when I went out for a meal. I made some culottes and then made a little cami in the same fabric. So once it's tucked in, it looks like a jumpsuit, but in actual fact, it's a lot easier to get in and out of.
Yeah.
So that's a little hack that you can do. There we go.
I've added loads to the back now as well. It's been a bit crazy adding. I do love a floral pattern. It's like my favourite prints, I think.
So there's the back. I took inspiration from you.
That's gorgeous.
With lots of layering, and like you say, the flock ones are gorgeous. And then the fronts, here comes the sun.
I love the colours that you've layered together, like the pink and yellow on that. It's really nice, and the blue and yeah, that's really pretty. Oh, I'll probably show you mine. I'll come round so you can see. This is the front of mine. So all out.
Oh, I like how under the sun you've got one big flower and then a small flower just on the inside.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of like, just by accident, I thought, oh, I'll just add that on. And I was like, oh, it's actually layered really well.
Let's have a look at the back.
And now on the back, I've just got like lots of flowers.
Oh.
Like separate. So that's like my crazy side, and that's my like more subtle side.
And I've got my sunglasses here ready to put in.
Oh, that's so cute. It's so handy. It makes such a good gift as well for someone. Yeah,
definitely. Like a handmade gift, you could just put their name on. Love it. Oh, thank you so much for having me.
No, it's been really nice to have you join us. Thank you so much. And it's been nice to have a catch up and hear more about your sewing journey. You've just done so much. I'm so looking forward to your dress, your purple double gauze dress.
Yes.
I'll be looking out for that. Bye.
Bye-bye.